Hey, welcome to this super impromptu, as usual, as usual, live stream. Um, I wanted to take this opportunity to share some lovely art supplies that Jackson's have very kindly sent to me, and I thought that it would be a good opportunity to decipher the difference between these two. So this is the Princeton Aquaelite. Let me make sure you can see it. There we go. This is the Princeton Aquaelite brush set, and this one is the Princeton Neptune brush set. If you've been here long enough, then you will have seen that this, let me put it so that you can see it, that this, which is, will it focus? I feel like such a YouTuber, but this is the Princeton Aquaelite size 12 brush, and it is one of my most used brushes. But I have very recently got these ones, and I want to try them out. So the Princeton Aquaelite, I like them because they feel firmer than other watercolor brushes, although they're supposed to be synthetic Kolinsky brushes. The Neptunes I haven't tried yet, but I've been told they are very thirsty and water heavy, so we shall see. And then in addition to that, I also have some watercolors that I picked out specifically for my Ko-fi members. So if you're a Ko-fi member, this is pretty much going to be a spoiler, especially if you're in the Happy Mail tier, because some of these colors I'm going to be sending out to you as part of my summer palette. But if you're not, we can just explore these colors together. So yeah, thank you so much for joining, and don't forget to hit the like button. And what else do I need to say? Oh yeah, before I forget, if you haven't already done so, then definitely consider joining my mailing list. I send emails maybe like once a month, once every 2 months. But I think even now, especially given that I am not creating YouTube videos as often and I'm doing more live streams, if you want to kind of be kept in the loop when I come back more officially, then definitely be sure to join my mailing list so that when I send out that email, you won't miss it. Just because I anticipate that the algorithm is going to be like, you haven't posted videos, we're not sharing your videos to anyone. So that will just be a good way for us to stay in touch regardless, irrespective of algorithms. And if you want to create together, if you want more videos, if you want live streams, if you want Happy Mail, if you just want a lovely community of artists, then definitely be sure to join my Ko-fi, which is where I do my art membership. So I thought I would get all that out of the way before I forget. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Terry. Hey, Christine. Do I have the 12 round or the 12 round Aquaelite? I have the 12, it's just the 12 round Aquaelite brush. This one right here. It is one of my most used brushes. And I also have the size 8 brush, which is ever so slightly smaller, but the 12 one is the one that I tend to use most of the time. Hey, Latrice, good evening. It's like it's the middle of the night for me here, but yeah, did night shifts. I still haven't quite reverted back, and I've been a little bit under the weather, which just makes my night shifts even worse. So thank you so much, Terry. Honestly, I love having you be part of that community, and I am so grateful for the encouragement. Or to make the long versions as well. By long, do you mean like, you know, when they're like further back like this, almost like, do I have like the ones oil painters use? I have the what I would call the normal ones or short handle ones. Let me show you the colors that I have got. Hey, Christine. Christine, was it you who won the Etcher giveaway last time? And if so, how's it going? Oh, I see the extended tip. No, I haven't got or tried that. I think the closest thing I have to an extended tip is this one, which is the Jackson's Kite one, which is ever so slightly longer than the Princeton Aquaelite. It feels too long for me, if I'm being honest. I think I'm just used to a little bit more of a standard length. And I guess because the longer they are, the less control you have. So if that's what you want and that's what you're going for, then that's great. But otherwise, it can be a little bit harder. Oh, good, Christine, it was you. I thought your name looked familiar. Hey, Quail, nice to see you again. And let me know if it's frozen at all, but hopefully it's fine. So these are the 2 sets that we've got. Let me know if you have either, if you've tried the Neptune or if you've tried the Aquaelite, and if you have, let me know if you have a preference. Is the screen okay? Is it dark or blurry for you? It almost looks a bit blurry for me on my camera, but I don't know if it's just my camera. Hey, Diane. I know I feel like it's been a while since you've managed to catch. Hey, Colleen. And Velvet Touch also come in long versions. So I use the Velvet Touch as well. I find that the Velvet Touch are quite, I only have one and it's quite soft. So again, less control. Don't know where I've put it at the moment. I normally have it to my side, but you know when you try to tidy things up and then you end up putting everything in places where you can't see them? Yeah, I almost feel like it's a little bit blurry. When I'm moving my hand, is it moving normally? Side to side, or is it glitching? These are also the colors that I got. Some of them I bought and some of them were gifted to me, but essentially I wanted to make a summer palette, which I'm going to be sending out as Happy Mail to my Ko-fi members. So again, if you, oh, so it is glitching. Okay, let me try and fix it in a second. Let me try. Any better? Weird. On my phone, it looks fine, but on my laptop, it does not. Yeah, no, it's not the lens. It's if it's glitching, as in like, can you see my hand moving from side to side? Because I can see it clearly on my phone. I love Winsor & Newton gouache. That's my favorite gouache, Quail. I'm gonna try and hold on if I do that. Okay. I'm gonna try leaving and coming back. But I'm guessing this camera is working fine. It's just my phone that has decided to glitch. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Hopefully, if I come back now, it should be all good. Sorry about this, the joy of live streams. Yeah, Winsor & Newton gouache is definitely my favorite. I haven't tried Shinhan gouache properly yet, although I want to try it for the same reason that Christine just mentioned, in that Sarah Burns uses it. And as in she uses it for her sub boxes. And I feel like if it's good enough for her, it will be good enough for me. But that being said, will it be my favorite? I don't know, because I really do enjoy Daniel Smith. Not Daniel Smith, Winsor and Newton. But I've got some Daniel Smith gouache, some Schmincke gouache, and obviously I have the Winsor and Newton. I have some Himimiya gouache, and I'm thinking about just testing them all out. I was thinking about putting them in a palette, not knowing which is which, and trying to find my favorite. Okay, let's see. Is that better? It's looking promising. I don't know why that would have made a difference, but oh, did I speak too soon? I don't know. Let me know how it's going for you. Oh yeah, I do I have Holbein? I do have Holbein. I was thinking I have the acrylic wash. Let me show you. Okay, good. Let me show you some of the colors that I have got. Thank you so much for your patience. I'm sorry. I don't know why it wasn't working. But in terms of the colors that I've got, it's cadmium yellow light, burnt sienna, quin purple, opera rose because it's so pretty, permanent magenta. We've got phthalo green, cobalt blue, and cerulean blue, and phthalo blue and indigo. It's actually wild that I have a 10 color palette and 4 of them are blues. When I actually swatched them out, and I'll swatch them out in a second, but when I swatched them out, I did find that the cerulean blue and the cobalt blue were very, very similar. So I'm not including both, but it was interesting to get them. So when I get brushes, one of the first things that I do and that you will notice, just in case you're new to brushes, is that they will be quite often very firm. Key thing is to gently remove that, I don't know if it's glue or gum arabic, that kind of residue that's left inside it. And I usually do that by just putting it in some warm water. And as I put it in warm water, not like bashing it or anything like that, but just gently putting it along the edge in some warm water, it eventually gets nice and soft. And then you've got rid of that residue without damaging your brushes. Part of the reason that I wanted this set is because of this. Because I was like, I really like the round brushes that are Princeton Aquaelite, and I like the dagger brush by Rosemary and Co. So if I mix the two, will it be absolute perfection? I don't know. Time will tell. So I am going to put these. This one, oddly enough, is relatively soft. And then I've also been painting with my flat brushes, in particular one, which is a Jackson's flat brush. And again, there's something about using different shapes that just almost like works a different part of your brain, or it makes me feel like I'm working a different part of my brain. And in addition to that, it makes my art look different. So I really struggled initially when I started with the dagger brush with Rosemary and Co. And then I really, really liked it, especially for my florals. And then I started really enjoying using flat brushes, especially when doing landscapes. So I'm kind of curious to continue to explore that. I'm doing this in the laziest way possible, just having them around, but not bashing them into the bottom because I don't want to damage the bristles. I just want them to loosen up. And because the water is warm, it acts pretty quickly. Yeah, gum arabic. Oh, new brush in box 5, the big one. You love angle brushes as well. Yeah, they're definitely like really interesting. The one that I tend to use, how do I keep misplacing all my brushes? Hold on. So I tend to use this one, which is the Rosemary and Co. 3/8 inch. But as I say, I was like, it's soft. It's softer than the Aqua Elite. So I thought maybe, just maybe, the Aqua Elite would be the perfect middle. Tell me, do you use the back of this to do anything in particular? I find it so interesting that it has this, and I don't know if it's meant to be so that we can make marks or if there's some sort of special reason as to why these flat brushes come with this. Is it just stylistic? Is there something that I'm missing? Let me know. Oh, thank you so much, Karate Guy. the red dot is on your list. Ah, so it is a scraper. It has a purpose. Because I was like, if I start doing that on my art, is it that I'm using it wrong, or is it actually what it was intended to? So you see, after just a couple of minutes, they are nice, they're soft, bristles are not damaged, and they are ready to be painted with. This is proper soft, actually. There is no wrong way to do art. That's very true. I agree with that. That being said, I like to know the intended way, you know, like know the rules and then break them. And be like intentional about breaking them. Which color should we use? Probably not one of phthalo blue. Use phthalo blue and raw sienna. And then I'll do all the swatches. So this is just gonna be some fun brush drills, I think, because I'm curious to know what they work like. So I already know, and I'm familiar and comfortable with the Princeton, with the round brushes, but the Neptunes are the ones that I don't really know how to use. So this is it's a size 8. This is what my size 8 initially started like, and this is what it's like now. But let me see, when I wet it, does it? You can see comes to a point, but not as fine as when I got it. I've had this brush for maybe 3 years now, so maybe I should be taking, no, not maybe, I should definitely be taking better care of my brushes. And when I take my 12, again, similar. So let's compare them. I need a What do you do when you get brushes? Do you do any drills to like get familiar with them, or do you just start painting straight away and see how it goes? Oh, Terry used it as a scrape. Hey Alexa. No, I have not tried streaming on Twitch. Would you? I don't know why. Oh, I said your name, and my robot friend thought that I was talking to her. I was like, why did she just make a noise? So this is the Princeton Aquaelite size 8 brush. And this is me trying to make some light marks. I'm using paper that I really don't like, just so that it can fulfill a purpose, you know, not go to waste kind of thing. So I'm trying to do light marks. Some of them are super light, some of them are not that light, but it's nice and therapeutic. And as you can see, it's holding quite a bit of water, quite a bit of paint. And I'm just going to keep on going. And if I take some more, and this time maybe do lines like this, just so that I can see what kind of different shapes I can get with varying amounts of pressure. And don't really have an equivalent in the Neptune, because in the, or actually, no, don't have an equivalent in the Neptune. This is the Princeton Aquaelite size 12. And I'm gonna take some of that because in the Neptune I have a size 12. So this is the size 12, which as you can see holds a good amount of water. way more than the 8 did. Hey, Miss Ebony. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm up so late. Hey, Jude. I can live stream on Discord? How does that that's interesting. I'm just catching up on the chat. Thanks, Nicole. Hey, Cindus Henry. So let's do this with the Princeton Neptune. A lot softer. Don't know if it actually held more water than the previous one. Let me try it again. Okay, really soak it up. This is so much softer. You can see the funny shape it's got itself into. Just want to see how fine. Can get fine lines as well. Don't know. I find that the key thing with, drills, if you are going to do them, is to just, I don't know, see what kind of different shapes you can get, kind of different marks. Try not to overthink it. And then if you're bored or if you're not getting anywhere, just paint and figure out how it works that way. This is wrong color. That was the flat brush that I was just making random marks with. And this is is it cat's tongue? They call it oval wash, though it looks very similar to a cat's tongue. And this is when I first started trying out different shapes, I actually found that the cat's tongue was a bit of an easier transition than the dagger brush. Hey, my garden cart. Yes, these supplies are from Jackson's. Oh yeah, I said they're from Jackson's and I forgot to mention that Jackson's are having a sale. That was kind of part of the reason why I was like, I should probably do this, because it is always bittersweet to watch a video, see something that you like, find out it's on sale, but it's too late to get it. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, let me make this video before then. So they call it the angular shader. I got it just because it reminds me of a dagger brush. And it's weird because it's almost like a flat brush. It doesn't quite feel like a dagger. That being said, you can still make some really nice and cute leaf shapes with it. And get some really nice dry brush. And then we have this tiny round, size 2 round, which in part I am curious about just for more details. I'm very much most of the time, a one brush, one palette kind of artist, you know? I don't want to overcomplicate it. I just want to use the same thing and be done. But I do feel like sometimes there's benefits that comes from trying to explore your different art supplies, because they, I don't know, they serve different things. You use them in different ways. And sure enough, it's easier to make thinner lines with this size 2 brush than it was with the size 12 brush. So then I have to question, why was I trying to make my life harder? Hey, Sharmak. What time is it for you, Miss Ebony? I did think that, like, when I was like, oh, I'm going live, I was like, oh, it's gonna end up being too late for most of you. I think at this point it's just gonna be a good time for Australians. Yeah, this too is really nice for adding details. It's funny because I wanted to get a liner brush. I was looking between liner and rigger brush to know which one I should get. Which one would be better. But as long as this keeps its point, I think this would be pretty nice and dreamy to use, no? You can see how I just completely distracted myself from all the shapes. So, which one? This one's a size 4, Princeton Neptune. So again, it's nice for smaller details. I think I prefer the 2. Well, I guess it depends on how big what I'm creating is. I don't know. For me, the Neptune feels softer than the Aquaelite, but I don't know. I don't think it's as soft as the Black Velvet. Tell me what you think. If you've used both, what do you think? What's the sale tomorrow? Honestly, I don't even know what's going on Jackson's, because they've released a new site. So when I looked today, there was a paper sale, a Da Vinci sale, a Princeton sale, a Jackson's watercolor sale, and what else? And something else. There were like five things on sale. You have the Princeton script brush, but it's super soft and hard to control. Yeah, I think with the 4, I have some control. But yeah, the softer I agree, the softer it is, the harder it is to control. And some people will want that and others will not. But I feel like I tend to lean more towards firmer brushes, which is why I keep going back to my Aquaelite time and time again. I'm just practicing different line widths and different pressures. And as you can see, being very random about it. Oh, you think the Neptunes are softer than the Black Velvet? I wish I had my Black Velvet to compare it side by side. I have a size 12 Black Velvet. Let's weigh this up. Has anyone else used them? Feel free to share. Even if you disagree with me, it's good to know. In fact, even more so if you disagree and you feel like the Black Velvet are firmer. I don't know where I've put it, especially because I keep going out. I keep putting them in. I keep putting my brushes inside my bags and then not unpacking them. Same for all my art supplies, really. Let me take some more of this. I feel like The 4 is nice as well, but it's almost like, I don't know. Yeah, I still definitely prefer firmer brushes, I think. I do think it's a good set in terms of the fact that you get some really interesting shapes. Out of the Princeton set, my favorite is the 3/4 inch square. They call it square wash. I'd call it a flat brush. So this one's my favorite from that set. And out of the two, I would probably pick the Aqua Elite, but that's because I tend to like firmer brushes that hold less water so that I have more control. If you want softer brushes that hold even more water and you have less control with, then the Neptune would be better. But again, I think it's dependent on how much control you want, because I do feel like sometimes if it is, you know, massive and very floppy, then it can be very challenging to use. I almost feel like the the Neptune are, I guess, the more traditional kind of watercolor brushes where they are softer and thus you can do more layers with them without disturbing the layer underneath and get softer gradients and hold lots of water and go from place to place. Whereas the Aqua Elites are a bit firmer. Um, I mean, I guess in theory they could be like mixed media brushes, although I don't use them for mixed media. But they're a bit firmer, you have a bit more control. This is a completely random pattern, but it's just trying to get familiar with the brushes on a piece of paper that I have absolutely no expectations for because I personally hate the paper. But I don't want to be wasteful and throw it away. And, these drills and these things are helpful. They're important. So I'm using them. This is the Raw Sienna and the Phthalo Blue, by the way, by Jackson's that I am using. This angular shader is going to be a learning curve, but I like it. So far, so good. I maybe almost wish it was a little bit longer, but I do like it. It's also firm, so it's a lot firmer than my Rosemary & Co. one, and it's shorter than my Rosemary & Co. one. And it also, I don't know, because it's so firm, I can make like a block like that. Do you know what I mean? Like just block rectangles. It doesn't hold massive amounts of water because the bristles are quite short. So if I start here, for example, and go down, you can see it hasn't gone that far down. If I try the same with the gigantic Neptune, I mean, this doesn't even feel like enough water. But the gigantic Neptune, for example, just keeps going all the way down. And then the Princeton Aquaelite flat brush, that's the same size. Look at me just staining my brand new brushes. It goes down as well. This one still has water. So I'd say this one can do 3 passes. And then it's also very malleable. Like, can you see how the shape has changed? Whereas this one is firm, stays, holds its ground. Hey, Dee. Let me catch up. Let me see what I have missed. Hey, Dee. And what did the Mightier pencil enable you with? Oh, the Mottler brush. I wanted to get that one. I'm going to have to settle with these two for now, but I think there's just something so nice about seeing a gigantic brush go across. quill brushes are also really nice. I want to try the Jackson's size. I think it's 10-0. I want to try the Jackson's quill brushes. Because I feel like maybe quill brushes will be the beautiful marriage between a mop brush and a round brush. That's what I'm thinking. So Neptune, when they're saturated, they are very soft, I agree. And when they're dry, they're sort of hard and clumpy. That is good to know, Nicole. Whereas the elites are more consistent versus saturated and not saturated. Elites, it sounds like elites are winning. Is Durwood here as well? I don't have the red dots, unfortunately. Do I? Like, I don't think these are red dots. I know everyone keeps talking about them, but what do I literally just have them. I have, yeah, they're not red dots. They're 312 series, and this one is, oopsie, this one is, again, 311. Hey, Paint and Hiding. Hey, V. It's, yeah, it's wild. I know it's quite late. Oh, good question. So far, so good. We can do some painting with them. I feel like I've swatched them out already. Trying to think of. I've swatched them out already, but we can do a painting with them so that we can have a bit of a better idea of what they're like. This is the swatches of the Jackson's colors that I got. So Cad Yellow Light, Burnt Sienna, Opera Rose, Quin Purple, Permanent Magenta. Interesting, because it doesn't look like a magenta color. It almost makes me wonder if I labeled them wrong. We'll see. I'll swatch them out again and we'll see. I don't think I did, but we'll see. Then Cerulean Blue, Cobalt Blue, Phthalo Blue, and Indigo. These are the colors that I got, and I'm going to be sending some of them to my Ko-fi members in the Happy Mail tier. My printer broke, so I wasn't able to send it out earlier, but it'll be out in the next couple of days. Oh, thank you, Paint and Hiding. Thank you, V. That's really helpful. Oh, and then Terry comes in and thank you, Terry, too. It's always so interesting because I think with a lot of these things, it's dependent on how you use them, what you want them for, your art style. Those are all the kind of things that are going to have a big impact as to whether you're going to like the brush or not like the brush. Because I think really and truly, as long as the bristles don't come undone, for the most part, most brushes are fine. Said like a true non-brush person. But if you know that you really like control, then you won't really like super soft brushes. If you know that you want less control and you want a brush that holds a lot of water, then you won't like the firmer synthetic brushes, and instead you'd prefer the animal brushes. So it's good to know. You prefer softer. Yeah, you know, it's so annoying because I have one black velvet. I think the black velvet is softer than the Neptune, but I can't find it to prove it right now or to test it out again right now. And because it's one of my softer brushes, I don't use it as much as my Aquaelite. I use it quite a bit still, especially if I'm doing like a very loose watercolor painting or something that's oh, here it is. Literally right next to me. I just want to try it again to be sure. Maybe we can put this to the side. So this is the Princeton, what am I saying? This is the Silver Black Velvet, and it is the size 10 brush. Is there anything left? No. So that's the size 10 brush. And then, let me just write. Black Velvet, size 10. And to me, that feels really soft. Let me try the Aquaelite. The Neptune, sorry, size 12. But maybe this one is softer. It's also hard because they're different sizes. Let me just saturate it all the way up. Oh, now I'm stuck. Which one? Maybe this one is softer. I do this just so that we know how much water it holds. Bearing in mind that this is the Neptune size 12, so it's bigger. So it would naturally hold more water. And then, whereas the Aquaelite size 12, where are you? Here. Add more water. So this is the Aquaelite. Well, this feels unexpected. This isn't normal. I must have. This is the size 12. Aqua Elite. And let's take doing some more. This is the Aquaelite, size 12 still. Just dipping it in water, not loading it up with water like I did before, so that we can see. And then same with the 12. Oops. 12 is here. Yeah, this makes more sense. The 12 holds more. And which one is softer? Okay, so I mean, out of these two, as I'm holding them now, the Neptune is softer than the Black Velvet. I don't know if that's because the Black Velvet is bigger, but it is softer. let's do... This is from my Ko-fi session with my awesome Ko-fi members. If you want to join, be sure to follow the link down below. This was from a live stream that we did, as was this one actually. Let's do some swatches. One of the things that we're going to be doing on my Ko-fi is creating a favorites palette. So if you haven't already done so, head over to my Ko-fi so that you can complete the form and just let me know what your favorite colors are. And then I will look through all of them. I will compile them and we will create a Ko-fi favorites palette. And if you are a Ko-fi member, Happy Mail tier, I will be sending out that palette to you. I'm just going to be swatching out some of the colors. Try. I think, you know what, I wasn't wrong. It's just the permanent magenta is darker than I would expect. So the permanent magenta, for reasons unknown, is darker than the Quin purple. And the reason that I got the Quin purple is because PR122 is one of my favorite reds. It's like a really nice pinky red. So when I was picking it out, I actually looked at the pigment number over the name. If I had gone based on the name, then I would have taken the magenta one and assumed that it would just be the, you know, the brightest. But that wasn't the case. Yes, Jackson sent me some of the colors and I bought some of the colors. So Jackson sent me, they sent me most of them. And the colors that I already had were Opera Rose, Indigo, Phthalo Blue, and they gave me the rest. Very, very lucky. And they let me pick. I don't know if you remember, I think like a year ago, they were going to send me watercolors, and they did send me watercolors, but the watercolors they'd sent me were not the colors that they were going to send me. Whoops, but they had run out of them. So fast forward a year later, they sent me the colors. This is, I should probably have labeled this. So this is the cerulean blue. That's, I think the rest we can work out, but the main ones that I need to remember is this. I put cerulean blue before the cobalt blue. And here we go. So this is cerulean, and this is cobalt, and the rest I can label later. Miss Ebony, I know I've literally been trying to get us another discount code for like over a year. But alas, no. I don't know if it's maybe because they do so many sales. They were like, you know, you already do so much. This is really nice and bright. Leans on opaque, as we would expect for a cobalt color. Then this is the sienna, nice and warm. And then this pretty color, which I haven't got enough of, is the permanent magenta. But yeah, I don't know why the permanent magenta looks like a beautiful dark purple. If I've missed a question, please just ask it again. I keep I may miss them, but I won't ignore them. Do you know what I mean? So if I haven't answered, it is just that I haven't seen them as of yet. This beautiful color is the Quin Purple, which I'm so glad I got because of the PR122. Otherwise, I would have got only the permanent magenta, thinking that that was going to be this color. And then here we have Opera Rose right at the end. And then Phthalo Green. I'm just going to do these swatches and then I'll look up and answer any and all questions. This is Phthalo Blue. I almost want to mix these two together. Because more times than not, just going to add some more, you can get some really pretty colors, like a really nice turquoise by mixing these two together. And I love that because they are often in the cheaper palettes. Then this is Cerulean. Which is a nice granulating sky blue. And then Cobalt Blue, which is a nice rich blue. It almost, I don't know, it reminds me of like a gentler version of ultramarine. And then we have the Indigo, which is a stunning, beautiful, cool leaning blue. So like a greeny blue. And I think it has PB29, and that is why. So for everyone who loves pigments, fear not, I will read them out. Let me see. Hey Maggie, if I've missed a question, then let me know. If you put question in caps, then I will be able to read it. Okay, so just ask it again now that I am less distracted by swatching. This is Cad Yellow Light. It's always should Cad Yellow Light, which should be PB35, PY35, and it is PY35. Then we have Burnt Sienna. Which is PBR7. Then we have Permanent Magenta, which is PV19. Then we have the hero, my favorite, which is Quin Purple. Which is PR122. Then we have Opera. Then we go down here and we have Viridian. I don't know if I said it was Phthalo Green before. Yeah, this is Viridian actually, which is PG18 and PG7, which means I actually have a Viridian I have somewhere. Oh, then Phthalo Blue, which is PB153. Cerulean Blue, which is PB35 and PB72. And then Cobalt Blue, which is PB72. And then Indigo, which is PB15. Kind of me surprised, and PBK7. I thought that would have had a Prussian blue because it almost looks like very green leaning. Question: is Cerulean Blue PB35? Just curious because Cerulean is PB28. Also, yes, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Paint and hiding. So permanent magenta is PV19. But the thing is, with PV19, there's like a pinky leaning PV19 anyway, which looks more like magenta. So I'm a bit confused as to why the permanent magenta color that the PV19 that they picked for the permanent magenta is a purple color when there are 3 variants of PV19 and one of them is pinky and truer to magenta. But no, the cerulean is PB35 and PB72. And you know what? We had something like this before. There's the Jackson's permanent alizarin crimson is brown. Can't explain why, but it is. But if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask them. I will be reading the chat as I dry this so that I can turn the page. Also, V, now that you're here, I have a question. I have finished one of the feels different. I have finished one of the Caddy Fat books and I had absolutely no issues with it. I loved it. It's one of my go-to low pressure sketchbooks. I managed to put massive amounts of water on it and it never went through. And then with this one that I got, and it's so annoying because I don't know where I got it from. I think I may have, I can't remember. I feel like I got it from Jackson's. But with this one, on 2 occasions, when I have like when I did this painting and I used a lot of water, it then reactivated the painting on the other side and created transfer, which has never done that before. So I just want to check if you had a similar experience, because I know that you like the fat book as well. I'm just going to draw it as I read the questions. That's so good to know, V. Thank you. Because yeah, it's quite bizarre, but this fat book feels different to my other fat book. And not in a good way. Like even the paper texture feels slightly different. That being said, as it seems to be the case, when I don't like a sketchbook, I just try to make my way through it as quickly as possible. So I don't have to use it anymore. Don't get me wrong, it's not that I hate it. It's just that it's different and it's handling water different. And it's almost, I thought I got the hang of it because I've used 200 pages of it in the other sketchbook, and now it's behaving a bit differently, which I hadn't really anticipated or expected. But yeah, nonetheless, I will finish it. And I can completely relate with what you're saying, Sharmak, about so many sketchbooks, so little time. If you guys have seen my video that's called All My Sketchbooks, you will know that I have over 100 sketchbooks, which is wild. And there's something about one, I thought I had half that amount. So there's something, I don't know if the word is humbling or enlightening, about like actually counting and finding out how many sketchbooks I actually have. So now that I actually counted them, saw how many I had, I was like, okay, need to start using these before the sizing goes. That's how I think I have finished 4 sketchbooks this year, which for me is quite a lot, especially given that I use multiple sketchbooks at the same time. Mm. Then yeah, it's super late or early, depending on on your view on it in the UK. It is currently 4:45, I believe. So I'm not gonna stay on much longer, but I don't know, I think it's fun given that I would be doing this anyway. Why not do it together where we can then have some banter about everything else that we're doing and everything else that's going on in the art world. So I was looking around for some tape. But I don't know where I put the tape that I wanted. So I'm going to have my swatch sheet, which I did on the other sketchbook here, to hand so that I can have a quick look. And if I can't find my tape in the next 30 seconds, I will just draw a small square. I reckon it's probably behind my laptop, but I don't want to ruin my whole setup for my live stream. Thank you so much for joining, V. I hope that you have a lovely weekend too. Oh, I'm so grateful it's the weekend. It's been a long week. Oh, I have another Jackson's colour. I'm just going to draw it. Oh, I wonder if... Oh, by the way, last time we were doing the live stream, which wasn't too long ago actually, I showed you guys the nano satchel that's coming out. Just in case you weren't here before, here is the nano satchel that's coming out by Etcher. I'm one of the Etcher ambassadors. So actually, if you buy anything from Etcher Lab directly or from Jackson's, using the code Sketches10, you will get 10% off. So Sketches10 for 10% off. And I say this every time because no doubt when it runs out, someone always comes and is like, what's your code? But I tried to make it as known as possible. I found my tape, by the way. And even like in my description, oftentimes, if there are any discount codes that I have, I will try to put them on there so that you can find them, especially if you're like me. Like more times than not, before buying something, I do try to look for a discount code or, you know, to see if they do price match or anything like that, because really and truly, art supplies are not cheap. Lewis. No, you know, oddly enough, I think it's the consequence of doing so many night shifts is that my sleeping pattern is all out of whack. So right now, because I'm off tomorrow, I'm just gonna go with whatever my body wants to do. So sleep when I want to sleep, wake up when I want to wake up, and then hope that in a few days I will no longer be nocturnal. It normally takes me like 2 weeks after night shifts and whatnot to go back to normal. Oh, Sharmak, you still want to get the signature sketchbook? You know what's so annoying? So I love the signature sketchbook. And again, if anyone wants to get it, that's from Etcher. It's an absolute beauty of a sketchbook. It's well made. It has Fabriano Artistico 100% cotton paper. It has deckled edges, a faux leather cover. It's truly my favorite sketchbook. And if you want it, you can get 10% off. But yeah, I'm so annoyed at myself because I saw it on sale for like a really great price. No spoilers for what, Quail? So I saw it for a really great price, but I was in and ahhing as to whether I should get it because I already have a few. So then I waited and I waited and I waited, and then I went to get it today because I was like, you know what, it's such a great price, like practically half price. I don't know why. And unfortunately now it's sold out. Quail, what spoilers are you talking about? Just to make sure that I don't accidentally give spoilers. Oh yeah, no, please guys. I agree. Please don't. I need to watch it. In fact, I'm really looking forward to watching it. I love Shonda Rhimes, man. She is an absolute legend. She just has a way of telling stories. I don't even know really like what she is. Do you know what I mean? As in, like, is she a writer? Is she a script writer? Is she a producer? Like, what is she? And how is it that she keeps making these theories that I am practically addicted to? Because it normally just says created by Shonda Rhimes. So what does that actually mean? Ooh. I'm just putting these down. I won't finish it like in this live stream, I don't think. Time will tell. Good night, Nicole. But I can do a few. I'm gonna get some yellow. It's Bridgerton is like, to be honest, most of Shondaland is like, don't know, like it's light-hearted, not light-hearted. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not something I would take too seriously, but I can't explain. I don't want to call it like trash TV, but it's the kind of, it's very binge worthy. It can be like a roller coaster in that, especially if I'm thinking about Grey's Anatomy. You can go from, you just can't know what to expect. Wouldn't get too attached to anyone. But I don't know. I enjoy it. Normally, like, lots of twists and turns, and it's a lot of it is scandalous. I guess that's what scandalous TV. Even Scandal in itself, as in one of the TV shows that she made was called Scandal. That was scandalous. Entertaining, but scandalous. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, it is. I wouldn't oh my gosh, Olivia Pope. There's this guy on TikTok who pretends to be Olivia Pope because I don't know, there's something about, for reasons unknown, in Scandal, and to be honest, in Grey's Anatomy, and then a lot of like the Shonda series, they talk in monologues. Like, a lot of the time, there'll just be this really long, random, engaging, enthralling like speech, and there's just all these people online now that will literally just go on these random tangents in the style of Olivia Pope. Again, very entertaining. I tried to watch How to Get Away with Murder as well, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, that maybe felt a bit too scandalous for me, like a bit too far fetched. So I stopped. Oh no, my sunset isn't making sense. Let me just correct that a little bit. So this one I'm just doing with this big flat brush, the Princeton Aquaelite one. And then because, oh, can you see that? Because this cobalt, this cadmium yellow is so opaque, it completely took over the opera. Don't really know where this is going, but I'm excited to find out. These are all very, very strong colors I have picked. Oh, I love Criminal Minds. I loved Spencer. I just thought he was so cute. Such a cute, clever man. I tell you, I know what I'm doing. I'm lying. Am I using the Zen brush? No, this one is the Aquaelite 3/4 inch brush. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably too big for this painting, but that's what makes it even more fun. Yes, I got so I got the Princeton Aquaelite, these shapes basically. Let me wait, that's the Neptune. That's the old Aquaelite that I got. And where's my other 1, 2, 3? Where's the tiny one? Oh, here it is. My initial plan was like, I'm just going to do one painting per box, but the idea of doing an entire painting with just this tiny brush, never going to happen. Never going to make it, 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 never. What else have I watched? I didn't watch Criminal Minds all the way to the end. I almost got to the end and then I lost track. And it's so hard to jump back in when you jump out, you know, because it's like, what have I missed? What do I don't even remember everything. Feels it's like 20 seasons, so I can't really go all the way back. It started again. What do you mean? I thought it ended, as in ended for good. That being said, I think I stopped watching on like season 18, something like that. Let's go again. This one is the Princeton Neptune. I was always kind of drawn by the handle. I don't know why they made the handles different to all the others, but I kind of like it. As a matter of fact, I was the one who said I loved you. Oh, CSI. I used to watch CSI as well. I stopped when was it Grissom? I stopped when like Grissom and Sarah started, you know, without spoilers, I was confused by that relationship, so I stopped watching. I was like, I don't know if this is the writers getting bored or confused, but I am lost, and I stopped watching straight away. And that was the end of that. It was about 8 years ago. Don't act like you don't know. We were sitting at home in your mama's living room. Oh, I love, but oh my gosh, you guys must think like, what else do I do? But I love Bones. I finished Bones, in fact. Um, I just yeah, and Bones had like, apart from Agents of Shield, Bones had like the biggest turn I did not see at all. Like, I was shocked. I was shocked. Don't know if anyone will know. I don't want to spoil it because it's so good to be shocked. But honestly, I was like, oh my gosh, I did not see it coming. Um, Same with Agents of Shield. It took me like a good 10 episodes to accept what had happened. I was still very, 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 very much in denial for quite a few episodes. In fact, even if now they released a season or episode and they were like, "Oh, it was all a dream," or "It was all like an elaborate ploy," and it's not what you thought, I would believe it in a heartbeat. Can really see how they say that sometimes people just lie to themselves. I would be one of those people because I would genuinely, completely believe that the twist and turn was not not real. I haven't watched. Yeah, no, I definitely turn to TV for escape. So no, I have not watched Call the Midwife or This Is Gonna Hurt. I haven't read that either. Although quite a few people recommended it, so maybe I will one day. Shall we make some nice fields? Make this more summery. Eva. Um, I have lost. I'm lost. I'm trying to read it. I don't watch Star Trek or Star Wars, so I have zero clue when it comes to that. Let me. I wish these were dry. You were sitting at home with your mama's living room. This one is too small. Where's the other one? See if I. Couldn't be alone because just making some mixes, trying to make each landscape slightly different from the one that preceded it. Taking some phthalo blue. Making some slightly darker mixes. I'm going to make it even darker and maybe put some trees in the back while still having them be green. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Quill Feathers. That's really kind of you. It's funny because I still feel like I want to practice painting from imagination more. What better opportunity than here and now with you guys? But because it's not like I'm seeing something in my head and trying to recreate it. It's literally that I put down the colors and then I'm like, how can I make this look like a landscape? So at some point, it would be nice to be able to see it in my head. What are your go-to things to paint or create for all of you? Yeah, she was Dawid. She's gone now. But she stopped by to say hi, which was really nice. So we've used these brushes. Let's take this, the Quinn, the PR122. I'll let that dry and see what happens. And then I feel like I've pretty much used all the brushes, but we have this one, which is the cat's tongue. That's actually called the Oval Wash 1/2 inch. Oh, florals, dash hounds. That's an interesting mix. And chicken cartoons for watercolors. Then you also love to crochet and doing tiny flowers. That sounds awesome. Vases with flowers, parts of buildings, landscapes, circles, squares, and landscapes, abstracts, portraits. It's so amazing. So many people create so many beautiful things. Mm. Oh, I know. Like, I find painting people very tricky too, though. And my sister keeps saying that when I'm painting people, they look like me. And I don't know if that's true. But I feel like one day I'm gonna wake up, look at all my paintings, and be like, "Oh my gosh, they are all me," and I just did not know. Just lifting some of that from there. Mm. Is that a compliment? I think she's just like, I don't even think she made it and she meant it in an initially shady way. She just asked me like why, and like there was one person that I did and she was like, why did you give her your nose? And I was like, what? What do you mean? Or then another, she'd be like, why did you make her look like you? And I was like, what are you talking about? None of these people look like me. Um, but we shall see. Feel like maybe one day I'll look back and I'll be like, oh my gosh, she was right. All this time she was right. I had no clue. Mm. What colors should we use for the last ones? Maybe I'll make them more like seascapes, like calm seascapes. Ooh. And then I can use the tiny, tiny brush to put in some seagulls or something. Yes, there would. I think, actually. Do you mean, I don't know if they work on, I don't know if it will work on Amazon. I haven't tried it, but I think that the Meeden discount will only work on Meeden. But if you try it and it's otherwise, please let me know and I will share that with others as well. And we'll do one night scene here. But yeah, I'm always on the hunt for discounts. They are harder to get than you think. For me, it's like, I don't know, because I feel like so many companies will offer them, for joining mailing lists or doing this or doing that. So I'm like, yeah, how hard could it be? But apparently it's very hard. Thanks for checking, Dawood. Let's add some finishing touches to these, shall we? So I'll use this brush here to add some green. I don't know if this tree necessarily makes the most sense, but it's here and it's here to stay. And then over here, don't know if I should add something else. Almost like maybe slightly smaller details. Thanks for checking, Dawood. And over here, see, for me, I prefer the firmer brushes still. But I guess for, art like this, where I'm only adding a layer or two, when I'm not too worried about reactivating the layer underneath, where I'm not trying to get the cleanest or softest of edges, I wouldn't necessarily need a super soft brush. And let's add some more details in this one as well. It's super wet. I It will be funny to see how you use the pastels, Miss Ebony. I have the pan pastels too. Honestly, it does, like Sharmak said before, sometimes it does feel like too many supplies. So little time to use them all. Because I really want to give them all times to like learn them properly and really play and experiment with them. And I feel like I haven't done that. And I think in part that's what I really wanted to do with my watercolors. And I've been painting with them more consistently now. But I do then start missing other supplies. Like I'm starting to miss gouache now. As the weather gets nicer, I automatically start missing gouache. And let's add some details here. Little cute tree. Another cute tree. Let me add, because I added the cad yellow, which is quite opaque. It is dominating my mix. And I want to use that super teeny tiny brush that's nice and firm and gives me some control. As long as I don't shower it with way too much water. I'm just adding tiny little fence. And some tiny birds. And 3, because we're always told not to make it symmetrical. It's pooling here, so I'm just going to take some of that paint and put it in other spots in the painting so it's still nice and cohesive. And lift it and put it elsewhere. And I'm going to catch up on the chat in 1 second. Just want to lift all that watercolor before it dries. because most things can be fixed and repaired, but it's certainly harder when it's on the top layer. Does anyone use pan pastels, or are you guys all new to it? I'm still very much on the new to it side. But I don't think I'm going to use them for a while. I still want to stick with watercolor. And I feel like once I'm on top of that, then this is nice for blades of grass. But yeah, once I'm on top of the watercolor, then I will branch out to the others. I'll probably revisit the jelly plate and then use that with pan pastels, with acrylics, and see. I have some acrylics. I bought some Jackson's acrylics, which I really did not like. I bought the Jackson Studio acrylics, actually. I didn't realize that they had two types. So I really liked the Jackson's watercolors, but the acrylics, or the studio acrylics, not so much. Not at all, actually, which I guess would be good for my jelly printing experience, because I'll feel no type of way about using it, because again, I just want to use them as quickly as possible. Deep down, I know it's never worked. What's the... I feel like... Well, is it not dry yet? It's not a good look. Get some self-control. This is still kind of wet. Surprisingly. But this one's dry. I like this brush, the small detail one. It does make life easier. I hope the point lasts. Sorry, jelly printing is a lot of fun, but it's a whole other realm. Yeah, so I saw a reel that I think Sandy Hester posted, where she like lifted it up, and in the title of it was something like using pastels with my jelly plate, which again, I didn't really know you could do. But it does feel like the kind of thing where there's so many things that you can do. I think I went down a rabbit hole when I first got it, in terms of watching videos, and people were using it to, like, you know, getting magazines and using it to kind of transfer magazines or newspapers or do multiple layers, multiple materials. It's definitely like very versatile, messy, but versatile. Deep down, I know this never works. Where's my white? Oh, I'll use this one. You can put anything on them as long as it's not sharp. See, I didn't think that pastels would transfer. That's what confused me. That's wild. Markers too. And do you think the tempera sticks will work without staining? Because I feel like that could be fun. Maybe we will, if enough of us have them and are interested, we'll just do like a jelly plate challenge. On Kofi. Here we go. Here are 8 super simple landscapes. Tempera would work. That is awesome because I find them less messy and more fun. Like a lot of fun. Paper might be hard to peel. We'll see. With the jelly sticks. I mean, I hope my jelly plate is still fine. I left it with paper for a while. I forgot what order I put what down. But let's do a nice tape peel if I can. And a reminder that the Princeton brushes are on sale for the next few hours, I think. I've put links in the description. They are affiliate links. However, if you're watching live or within the next few days, the affiliate links aren't working anyway. So it's less so about don't buy them on my account. It's just if you like them, then you can. And also there's an A Gallo sale, at least in the UK now. I think they're doing different sales in the US and in Canada. I think the last time that we checked they were. So in the UK they are doing, or they're saying that they're doing an A Gallo sale, a Princeton Aquaelite sale, a Jackson's watercolor sale, and I think the other one was like a Michael Harding oil sale, which I had no interest in. What happens if you do that, Terry? I'm kind of curious. Uh-oh. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and to consider subscribing. If you want to see more, if you want to be part of my art community and chat with all these awesome people who you're chatting to right now in the chat, then be sure to join my Ko-fi, which I have linked down below. If you want to stay up to date with when I am officially properly back on YouTube, and also just be like email pen pals, then join my mailing list, which again is also linked down below. And if you like videos like this, like art hauls, I'll leave them linked down below and at the end of this video. And if you like live streams where we get to chat together, then I have done so many, so you are in the right place. But I will leave you all to it. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for all the chatting. Thank you for inspiring me and getting me curious to try my jelly plates again. I hope that you all have a wonderful Friday, an amazing weekend. And yeah, thank you all so much. And I'll see you next time. Oh, I hope you like it, by the way. Ta-da! Finished peel. And finished swatches. And if you're a Happy Meal tier member, you're going to be getting some of these colors, wink wink, in the Happy Meal that's coming soon. So yeah, thank you all so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.